Good morning, children. Welcome to Social Science class. Let's be thankful to God for bringing us all together again, safe and sound in the new year. Okay, wish you a blessed and peaceful new year. Dear children, today we are going to learn History Lesson 5. Educational Development in India. What is the heading of the lesson? Educational Development in India. History Lesson 5. Educational Development in India. What is education? Education is a continuous process of acquiring and sharing of knowledge, skill and values. What is education? It is a continuous process of sharing of knowledge, skills and values. It plays a vital role in shaping responsible people. It shapes the responsible peoples. Which shape the responsible peoples? Education, isn't it? So to meet the challenges, okay, and overcome the obstacles. Obstacles mean hindrance, okay. So that prevent. We need to be well educated. For what purpose we need to well education? To meet the challenges. So this world is fully challenges world, isn't it? Every day in our life we are meeting the challenges. So to meet the challenges and overcome the obstacles, we need to be well educated. The concept of education might have originated from the Vedas. The concept of that the education originated from the Vedas. Okay, so there are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Vedas. Okay, so the Veda, that word Veda is derived from the Sanskrit word. From which word that Veda is derived? From the Sanskrit word. The meaning of that Veda is knowledge. Veda meanings knowledge. That word Veda is derived from the Sanskrit word. Okay. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the ancient, medieval and modern system of education in India. So that period, three periods. Okay, ancient period, medieval period and modern period system of education in India. Okay, we know that the famous people, those who lived in the ancient period, okay, the writings of Aryabhatta, Gadyana and Patanjali. Those who are the famous people: Panani, Aryabhatta, Gadyana and Patanjali. These are the famous. From their writings, we know about the education of ancient period. So, the writing of these famous peoples, that were some of the sources of learning. So we are came to know about the ancient education by the writing of these people. Okay. So that ancient education in India. Now we are going to learn about the ancient education in India. Okay. So here the ancient education system in India. First we are going to learn about the ancient education system in India. Okay. So during the ancient period, education was imparted by the teacher. Imparted means taught or gave. The education was gave or taught or imparted. The education was important. Important meanings what is it? Taught or gave by the teacher to the people. So teacher meanings that guru. In ancient period, the teacher was called as the guru. Okay, that peoples, that means students. Okay, so during the ancient period, the education was important by the teacher or guru to the peoples who gathered around him and came to live in his house as members of his family. Okay, that peoples were lived as the members of the Guru's family. Okay, so that nowadays we are going to school. isn't it, and colleges to learn education. But in the ancient period, how the people got educations? That means the peoples, they gathered around the guru and they came to live in his house as a member of his family. This system was known as Gurukula system of education. This system was known as Gurukula system of education. Okay, that is this picture. See the picture. This is Guru. This is the peoples or the students, isn't it? So they sat under the tree. But these people, they won't go to their home. They lived in Guru's home as a member of his family only. Okay, the Guru only taught education to the peoples. Okay, so this was known as Gurukula system of education. Gurukula system of education. In this education, that teaching was oral. No written notes or something, isn't it? The teaching was oral and students remembered and meditated upon what was taught in the Gurukulas. The students want to remembered. The students want to remembered and they want to meditated upon what was taught in the Gurukulams or what was taught by the Gurukulam. Many of the Gurukulas situated in forest and peaceful surroundings, isn't it? In those days, that Gurukulam is that is situated in a forest or other peaceful surroundings. Okay, the Guru and their Shishyas. Shishya means people. Okay, are the students. The Guru and their Shishyas lived together, helping each other in day-to-day life. The students help or the Shishyas help to the Guru in their daily life, isn't it? Day-to-day life. The main objectives was to give complete learning, leading a disciplined life, and realizing one's inner potential. What is the meaning of inner potential? Hidden qualities. That is, hidden qualities of the Shishyas, isn't it? Was brought out by the Guru. Okay, so what was the main objectives of this Gurukula system of learning? To give complete learning, leading a disciplined life, and realizing one's inner potential. That means that they want to realize one's hidden qualities. Students lived away from their home for years together till they achieved their goals. When they achieved their goals, at that much years, the students lived with the gurus only. The teachers or gurus had complete freedom, autonomy in all aspects. Autonomy means that right. Okay, they have the freedom. The Guru only has the had complete freedom or autonomy to all aspects. What are the aspects? From selection of the students. The Guru only select the students and designing their syllabus also. Nowadays, our government only designing our syllabus. Isn't it what we want to study? Isn't it? But in the ancient period, the Guru only selected the peoples or selected the Shishyas and he only designing their syllabus also. When the teacher was satisfied, that means the Guru was satisfied with the performance of their students, the course concluded that they were completed the courses or education. So this course concluded debate and discussions were the primary method of teaching. What were the primary method of teaching of that Gurukula system? Debate and discussions. Debate and discussions were the primary method of teachings. Okay, then some writing, the stories, the Jataka tales. What is the meaning of Jataka? Jataka means that Jataka meanings that stories. Okay, here it is there. Okay, the Jataka tales, Jataka tales, the story. Okay, account given by that book was written by Xuanzang and Hastings. Xuanzang and Hastings. The Xuanzang and Hastings were the Chinese scholars. Those both of them were the Chinese scholars. From their writing, the Jataka tales, we got the they give some account about the Gurukula system of education or the ancient period of education. Then other sources tells us that the kings and society took an active interest in promoting education. So that the kings in the ancient period, kings ruled our countries. So the kings and the society took an active interest in promoting education. Then temples also played a vital role in education. So what are that? Kings, society and temples play an important role in education, isn't it? So that they mostly the next that through the monasteries. Monasteries meaning the place of monks live and worship. That monks, isn't it? The place of monks, those who live and worship, that place is called monasteries. So through monasteries and viharas, Buddhist scholars carried out the educational work. Okay. As a result of this, many famous educational centers came into existence. Among the most famous, important educational centers in the ancient period. Okay, that means that society, kings, and temples played an important role in the ancient period of the education. Okay, so that many of the Buddhist scholars carried out educations in the monasteries and viharas. So as a result, many famous educational centers came to existence. Among the most notable universities or most important universities are Taxila, Vikramasila, Nalanda, and Vallabhi. That Vallabhi, Taxila, Nalanda, Vikramasila. These are the famous important educational centers in India during the ancient period. That Taxila is in ancient period it was in India, but now it was in Pakistan. Taxila was in Pakistan. Okay, so that Taxila, that this only Taxila, that already I told you Taxila was first in India, but now it is in Pakistan. So Taxila, okay, do you know that box Taxila, which was an ancient Indian city, which is now in western Pakistan. Okay, so it is important archaeological site, and the UNESCO declared it as a World Heritage Site in 1980. Who declared it is a World Heritage Site in 1980? That UNESCO. What is UNESCO? That one branch of UNO. That one branch of UNO. That UNESCO declared it is a World Heritage Site in 1980. That Alexander Cunningham, he only discovered its ruins in the midst of the 19th century. What is the meaning of ruins? Yeah, ruins, R-U-I-N-S. What is the meaning of ruins? Ruins means that remains of buildings after the destruction. After the destruction, that remaining part of the building, that is called ruins. That ruins were discovered by Alexander Cunningham in which year? 19th century. Okay, next famous place is Nalanda. Okay, that ancient university Nalanda. Okay, that Nalanda, already I told you, it is in India, eastern part of the India. Okay, so that it is located in Bihar. That Nalanda is located in Bihar. It was a center of learning from the 5th century to 12th century AD. 5th century to 12th century AD, it was the famous center of education, which is Nalanda. That peoples from other country also came to India to learn education. Okay, so here that much only about the ancient period. Next we want to learn about education in medieval India. Okay, that education in medieval India. Education in medieval India. During the medieval period, that middle period, the country was invaded by various foreign rulers and several traders from different parts of the world. From the world level, from many countries, that people, that merchants, that traders, okay. Then rulers, kings, foreign kings also invaded India. Okay, so they came to India. They brought with them their own culture and intermingled with the people of the country. They brought their culture, but they intermingled with the people of our country. Okay, the Muslim rulers established primary schools and secondary schools. The primary schools students learn reading, writing, and basic Islamic prayers. So that Muslim rulers, Muslim meanings they Islamics, isn't it? They spread their Islam. So the Muslim rulers they established primary schools and secondary schools, and in these schools they students learned reading, writing, and that basic Islamic prayer. They are writing, reading plus the basic Islamic prayer were taught in these schools because that Muslim kings only established the okay. Then secondary schools okay, higher secondary schools, okay. The secondary schools were established to teach advanced language skills, that language skills, okay. The several madrasas were set up by the Sultan Iltutmish, okay. That madrasas, that means that learning, that is Islamic learning centers, okay. Madrasas, several madrasas were set up by the sultans. Sir Iltutmish was the first ruler to establish a madrasa at Delhi during his rule. Women education in India was prevalent during the medieval period. In the ancient period, the women's they did not get the education, but the medieval period, the women education in India was prevalent during the medieval period only. The later medieval period, the British came to India and they introduced English education. Various universities and thousands of colleges were formed during the British period. Europeans came to India for trade and established trading companies. They established educational institutions also. Okay. So that the Portuguese were the first Europeans who started modern system of education in India. Already you know about that, isn't it? You learned about the advent of the Europeans. That time you have learned about that people, about the European peoples. Okay, so there the Portuguese were the first came to India. Okay, they started some educational institutions. Francis Xavier started a university at Cochin. Followed by the Portuguese, the French opened their institutions in for all the Indians. Okay, French Bishop Segan Paul. You know about this, isn't it? Francis Xavier Segan Paul. He also started the schools and training college for teachers in Travancore. Okay, Travancore is in Kerala. Okay. After that only that English. They started missionary colleges at Calcutta and other places, Bombay. Okay, okay. These are the they give the important or give Western education as well as in Indian education. Okay. So next class we can continue these lessons. Okay. Thank you, children.